So yesterday I found this really cool park called Riverside Park, and it was just in a really cute little area. It kind of reminds me of Ashland, where it has a lot of those like little shops that have that really classic sort of like old-timey look. I don't know how else to describe it. And it was just really cute. And this was meant to be like a layover stop between Grand Junction and Denver. And I've actually been here longer than I planned on, because I thought I was just going to take a day to sort of like, what do you call it? When you have to get your brain together. Just take a rest, sort of get caught up on everything, take a breath, and get back on the road, because ultimately I'm trying to get to the Denver area, or closer to the Denver area, and this was just supposed to be a temporary in-between stopping point. And it was just so cute, and it was such a cute little park. Now it is highly populated, so I am gonna have my mask on. It's outside, it's a park. People are about 50-50 on the mask situation. You do not go into stores here without a mask on. I've noticed that in Colorado. Colorado seems to be a little tighter on masks than Utah was. And maybe that was just the parts of Utah I drove up on. I mean, it's really interesting. Like, there definitely is a continuous changing culture on mask as you travel. You know, and I'm just trying to make the smartest decision I can so that I don't get sick, or if I do have like some light asymptomatic version of the virus, that I'm not passing it on. So I'm being as careful as I can, and that's just being cautious. Now, I haven't let it stop me from sort of making the plans that I want to make, but at the same time, I do want to protect people. So I want to find the safest middle ground. It's not going to hurt me to take measures to protect other people. And so, you know, I'm just doing my thing, traveling, being as safe as I can. But, you know, it's nice to just fall into like these cute little places by accident. And I feel like you don't find these places when you're intentionally sort of avoiding these places, and by that I mean you're only going to like remote areas as you travel. And the good thing about a van is it's so flexible to doing both. You know, you can go out in the middle of nowhere, or you can just travel through city streets and park on the side of the road, and both of these options are open to you. And that's sort of the difference between being a van person and being an RV person. RV people, you know, they have a lot. They're signing up for it. Once you decide you want a fifth wheel, you're not going to be casual. Even if you like stay overnight at the Walmart, you're not going to be casually riding through the town attached to that Walmart, at least not in the same way, because you can't park in the same way. Like, this van is about lengthwise as big as I want to get. I'm not saying there isn't some future with a high top somewhere down the road or whatever, but as far as length, I don't think I want to be much bigger than I am now. I like being able to just like casually cruise through towns and cities and stuff like that without having to worry about if just by vehicle size my vehicle is a problem. And so that's one of the nice things about sort of being in a van versus a very large vehicle. Rather, that's a very large bus. Even if you move into a box truck, I wouldn't want a really large box truck, because while box trucks are all over the city, it's not about stealth. It's about ease of movement. And it is about size, because you are getting into an industrial sized city vehicle. You can go out and buy some pretty big box trucks and have some pretty big tiny homes, which seems like what is it called, an oxymoron, a big tiny home. But yeah, if you ever seen those shipping container homes or anything like that, like, those are still tiny homes, but they're pretty big by comparison to, say, you know, living out of a ProMaster city or something like that. And even comparison to living in something like this, like, you can have actual rooms in a shipping container house, like, which is pretty difficult in something this size. But the good thing about something this size for me is that it gives you enough living space to really feel like you have a living space, And it also gives you a short enough length and a small enough size that you can just park where you're legally allowed to park for your size. And that is sort of the question you have to ask yourself. Like, what is your priority? You should have a really clear picture of what you want your nomad life to be, and it's all right to be wrong. So plenty of people get bigger vehicles and go smaller. People get smaller vehicles and go bigger. People get bigger vehicles as they become couples or have children or whatever. Some people think they need a bigger vehicle because they are a couple or they have children, and then they realize, no, actually we could go smaller and be happier. A great example of this is the YouTube channel, The Rolling Vistas. They are a lovely couple, very artistic, built a very beautiful bus, and now have built a very beautiful van. And they got the bus because they're a couple with 2 dogs. And one of the dogs, he's about on the larger medium size. They call him a big dog, but he's not really that big to me. Like, I've seen big dogs. He's more like on the upper end of the medium size scale, and they have a small dog. And they thought they needed this bus because there's 2 of them and there's 2 dogs. And they built this beautiful bus. And what they ended up doing after they went out and sort of defined their travel lifestyle is they ended up downsizing to a van. And they do like campgrounds for long-term stays, unlike me. Like, I don't think I've ever been in a camping situation more than 2 or 3 days by myself. And it's about around the second or third day, like, I'm ready to move on. And there's a point even where I need to city. I'm a city girl. I enjoy the city. I feel comfortable here. I have not had bad experiences living in a van in the city. I just haven't. So sorry to break the stereotype. It's easy. It is so freaking easy for me moving through cities in this van, sleeping in it, waking up in the morning, doing whatever. Like, I've never had problems. And I really do like that living in a van allows you to stumble on like really cute little towns as you're making your stops, which you can't really do after you become a certain size. Yeah, you can stop in the Walmart and park overnight, and a lot of major shopping centers where they know they're on the paths of where RVs are accessible. But when you get into these like certain size nooks, like, you can't really navigate through that with extremely large vehicles, or you're going to do it with some trouble. And that's just on a very practical level. Now, if you're looking to just dock somewhere with the biggest tiny home you can get, then you're living a different lifestyle from the kind I'm living. So I can't really advise you on that, because I would never want to live that lifestyle. I have not reached a point, and it may happen down the road, where I want to be still that long. Like, it's beautiful and it's nice and it's cool for like the amount of time I'm there, and then I'm ready to move on. And then I'm ready to move on. And then I'm ready to move on. I personally haven't felt that need to settle and be still, I guess. At least not on any like major level where I'm sad, where it's like, oh, I've been here for 2 weeks and I really wish I didn't have to leave, because I haven't had that spot yet. You know, I haven't met that spot. I haven't been in that situation. I've always been ready to go well under 2 weeks every time I've gone out by myself. It's been cool for the amount of time I was there. It's really great to be like, I'm not gonna lie, naked or half naked in the great outdoors is really great. I'm such a weirdo. All right. Well, my intention was not to talk to you guys for like all this time. It was to get out and show you this park, because I think it's really cool. The area is really cute. It's really pretty. And I'm just going to go and capture some footage for you guys. So enjoy. good walk, and like I said, it's just a really cute little area. I always appreciate the areas like this. I loved repurposed buildings. I love that sort of like a old town sort of artsy feel to the outside of little shops. Like it's so cute. And so like to have stumbled on this area when I wasn't expecting to find anything, you know, sightseeing worthy, those are always really nice moments. Like I personally have not rolled up on that epic boondock spot. I've had okay boondock spots, you know, went down the road. I'm also like, I'm not a searcher. I hate to say that. Like at some point I'm just like, you know what? I'm sick of driving down this dirt road, and a lot of those really beautiful epic spots you've seen, like if you're Chrome, maybe once in a while you just find them by accident. I feel like he's really good at that. Chrome from University Vanlife, I feel like a lot of my viewers know who he is, so I'm gonna speak about him casually under the assumption every viewer knows who he is. But I feel like he's been able to do that from the earliest stages of his van life. He's also in Canada, he's in BC, whatever. But I feel like a lot of those spots are found like through a lot of searching, and what they're showing on the internet is the tail end of that. And I personally just haven't found that you know, that gorgeous, oh my god, I can't believe I found it spot. You know, I found getting anywhere near water without paying for it or just using like a day use area is challenging to difficult. And honestly, in that kind of way, I just honestly have not pushed the envelope. I'm sure those epic spots are out there. I'm sure, like, you know, they exist because, you know, they were filmed, so they exist. And I don't think, like, in all cases, you know, they weren't found by some searching, but I haven't had that experience yet. Like, oh my god, this spot. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy what I do find, exploring, being surprised in an area where you weren't really looking for anything surprising. And I think that is van life, just like wherever you're exploring takes you, rather that's down a random dirt road or like a little bit more into the city center area of a town that you're just doing a layover in as you head to a specific place. Like I think that kind of stuff is still really cool. So I hope you enjoyed my little walk around the Riverside Park area and the little shopping center area near it. I need to get back on the road, so that's what I'm gonna do.